Hello, everybody. This is going to be another before work record review show and tell type thing. Okay, I recently went and saw DOA 2 nights in a row. Here's a t-shirt I bought from the show. This is from the Toledo show. And I got this little patch with the punk rock since 1978 to go with it. And let's see, so much stuff. Here's a set list from the Toledo show of DOA. And here is the inner sleeve to the Talk Minus Action equals 0 live LP. And Joey Shithead autographed it for me. And here's the record itself. Very, very good record. It needs to be re-released so you can pick it up for a price that isn't crazy. All right. Here's the flyer from inside the venue at the Toledo show. Now we're going to get into the Black Flag. I saw Black Flag 2 nights in a row. This is a little poster that they had for the tour. And they had this for sale at the merch booth. And it said that they were performing this album in its entirety, which they didn't. That was false advertising. They didn't perform the whole album. Here's a flyer from the Detroit show that I took off of a wall that was outside because the people on the inside wouldn't let me have one, so I found this one. So they tried to keep me from getting one. I got one anyway. All right, here's an old Black Flag flyer from the second time I ever saw them, and Greg Ginn autographed it for me. And this is from Pine Street Theater, Portland, Oregon, 1986. All right, now let's get some little 7-inches going. This 7-inch is Ray Charles, and it has the song Mess Around on it, and then I Got a Woman on the flip side. And the reason why I have this is in that movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when John Candy's driving the car and he kind of gets his coat stuck and ends up losing control of the car. Do the Mess Around is the song that's playing, and that's the song he's rocking out to when he loses control of the car. All right, this is Do the Hucklebuck, and that's a Chubby Checker thing. And I don't have the Chubby Checker record because it was too expensive, so I picked up this one by a band called Coast to Coast, and I think they're from Germany. And they are doing a cover version of Do the Hucklebuck. And it's good. It's lively. It's rockin'. It's not as good as the Chubby Checker one, but almost. It's almost as good. So that's the Hucklebuck. Okay, here's a Black Flag album that I bought from the merch table just recently. And this is the album that they said they were going to do all these songs, but they didn't do them. Anyway, it's autographed to me by Greg Ginn. And I'm sure everybody watching this has already heard this album. So there you go. Black Flag, first 4 years. All right, now Fear also played with DOA in Detroit. And it was kind of abysmal. Anyway, Fear had this little 7-inch record for sale. And the Ramblin' Gamblin' Man on side A with Brainwash on side B. This is pretty good. But the problem with this is, and it's kind of a big problem, it's one of those little lathy cut records. So the sound isn't very good. I don't know why they do these. Well, I know why they do them is because they're cheap. That's why. It doesn't cost hardly any money to make these cheap little records that are not on, well, it's a vinyl, but it's not. Anyway, not really worth what I paid for it, but this is the way the new Fear in physical format comes to you with the Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. Songs on it aren't bad, but it wasn't worth the $20 that I paid for it. And if I would have known it was one of these, I wouldn't have bought it, but I didn't know because the record was inside the little jacket. Anyway, that's the new Fear record. And it's okay. It can go right up there with the Hucklebuck and the Mess Around. Now, I ran into Levine by accident, and if I would have known, I would have bought a record for him to autograph, but I didn't know I was going to run into the dude, but I did. So I had him autograph this $20 bill. So I did get Levine's autograph, along with Joey Shithead and Greg Ginn, but Levine, well, this is the thing, or the only thing that I had for him to sign. All right, so let's put this $20 bill in with the Fear record. There, fits in there nicely. All right, let's get into something wonderful. And it's this baby. This is, whoops, stuff's dropping out. This is the soundtrack to a movie called The Funhouse. I've never seen this movie, but this thing was on sale for $15, and it's a Waxworks release, so I knew the quality was going to be out of sight, and it is. Here's something that came in it. Some cartoon work. And wow, is this a all over the place, all kinds of music soundtrack, but not all over the place, all kinds of music to the point where it's not any good. It's good. Here's what the records sound like. It's got a carnival type feel to it, because I guess the movie is about a carnival. I don't know. And the second record looks just like this one. It's a double LP. And it's the soundtrack to The Funhouse. I'll have to see if I can find the DVD of this for cheap and watch the movie, because I'm very impressed with the soundtrack. Okay, one more, and then I gotta go to work. Actually, it's kind of two more. Now here's the Dead Boys, Young, Loud, and Snotty. And you all know what this sounds like. Maybe I'll do one more. Now this is the Dead Boys, Younger, Louder, and Snottier. And I guess this is the version of that record that isn't cleaned up. And how does this thing sound? Sounds pretty good. Is it better than this one? By a small margin. A small margin is what this thing has got going for it as far as being better than the original. So when you see this thing in your record store, don't be afraid to pick it up. It's very, very good. Just rougher sounding, and just not cleaned up, yet not diminished as far as the volume of the songs. Okay, let's do one more. Now I picked this thing up on a super sale for, I think, like $18. I've never seen this movie before, but I guess it's a horror movie called Curtains. And there's the gatefold. It's one LP. It looks like this. And for this thing to sound like something interesting, I had to record it on the fastest speed that my turntable would go. And then I had to record another copy of it over that one, but slightly delayed, so it would have a fuller sound, and then it was kind of listenable. But that, as it stands alone at the right speed, it's not very good. It's just not a very good soundtrack. But with the right recording program on your computer, you can make it a good soundtrack. So something that you'd say, this isn't very good. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. You can work with it and get creative with it and make it into something good. Okay, there's more to get through, but it's time to go to work.